I was a boy, I discovered I had the power to control people's minds, make them think or do whatever I wanted. When I was 17, I met a young man named Eric Lenscher. He too had an unusual power. He could create magnetic fields and control metal. Believing that humanity would never accept us, he grew angry and vengeful. He became Magneto.
When I was a boy, I saw men executed, women and children. Each night I swore to myself, never again.
But for some, a war is never over. Remnants of the army that had so brutally occupied his small country returned, attempting to retake it. We saved what patience we could, revealing, for the first time, to each other, to anyone, our long-hidden mutant powers. But Magnus wasn't through. He'd lost his family when those people overran his country. Consumed by rage, he tried to destroy them. I stopped him, but I'd never seen such a change in a man. I tried to help him deal with his pain. Magnus, your violence will solve nothing. We must use our special gifts to bring peace to mankind.
You're a fool, Charles. Look at them. They can't even make peace with each other.
Heaven help us if he was right. Possessing the power of magnetism, he began calling himself Magneto. He and his growing legion of followers attacked power plants, factories, government buildings, determined to disrupt human society, paving the way for mutant takeover.
When I was a child, my people talked while others prepared for war. They used reason while others used tanks, and they were destroyed for their trouble. I won't stand by and watch it happen again. I won't! The war for survival must begin now, while we mutants are strong and you are still divided.
Plane incidents involving surviving children continue to pour in from across the country. Panic calls to 911 describe cars moving on their own accord.
If you notice any bizarre behavior in your children or the children of those around you, please report immediately to the CDC.
We now go live to President Gray.
I am here to talk about my new proposal, Proposition X, the Mutant Control Act. My proposal seeks to identify mutants, even before they're born, and register them as we would register a gun.
For 5 years, the Federal Council on Mutant Activities studied the security risk posed by mutants. And their conclusion? Mutants could be a threat. Could be. All I have to do is look in the newspaper to verify that mutants are a very real and present danger. There's a girl in New York who can read minds. A young man in Nebraska can generate an optic blast from his eyes. There's even a young woman in Africa who can control the weather. Potential threat indeed.
Genetically altered mutants are everywhere. No place, not even your own home, is safe. Senator Kelly knows this better than anyone. He stands ready to fight for human preservation.
Well, I don't condone violence, but I do condone people feeling safe in their own homes.
Support Senator Kelly. Our future depends on it.
Well, I open these hearings today proud to be a senator from the freest nation on earth. A nation dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. But what our forefathers could not foresee was a nation where we are no longer created equal. And that is why I am calling for the immediate passage of the Mutant Registration Act. It will make our country a safer place for your families and mine.
We just heard remarks by Chairman Robert Kelly prior to convening today's Senate subcommittee hearing on mutant activities. Senator Kelly's bill would require mandatory registration of all mutants by the federal government. XNN News has learned that these historic proceedings will include startling revelations about people with advanced genetic powers and stunning footage of the fabled mutants known as the X-Men.
This is the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. I am Charles Xavier, and I have dedicated my life to educating and training mutants. The best and brightest of my students you know as the X-Men. We dream of a world of peace and equality, where mutant and human could live together peacefully. But there are those who would die or kill to stop this from happening.
The bureaucrats have finally come to their senses and commissioned Project Wide Awake, a covert operation designed to deal with the mutant menace that's growing within our borders. And although I had to call in every political favor owed me, I was able to convince them to appoint me the head of the project. Now, we can move forward with what should have been a priority 10 years ago, the protection of the human race.
The economy collapsed because of all those natural disasters. But a lot of the blame went to mutants, Homo superior. Some call them the next stage in human evolution. Others, a threat to our very existence.
So now we've got these purifier cults springing up everywhere. They say they're humanity's saviors. Well, someone's got to do it.
Come on, let's get the mutant. Yeah, get that lousy mutant. We'll show him.
Please, don't hurt me. I'm just an ordinary mutant. I don't have any special powers. I just look different.
No more mutants. No more mutants.
No more mutants.
Anti-mutant riots erupted today in dozens of cities across America as crowds expressed their outrage.
That is why I've called you here. Anti-mutant activity has grown increasingly violent.
7 years ago, my unit was there to save lives from a new threat. Conduits. People with powers that no one understood. They had the power to kill. And the power to transform some of us into conduits, too. I found another survivor. She tailed me as I made my way back to the safety of my battalion. Together we traveled through a lawless city that wanted us dead because of what we now were. Every day, people joined the lynch mob, horrified by the thought of conduits hiding among them. We'd hurt no one, but they could only see us as monsters. When military order finally asserted itself, they treated us as the threat. I was conduit. I was military. But I couldn't be both. So I made another option. It was the only way. By bringing in that first conduit alive, I'd earned the government's trust. And that was just the start. They funded the creation of the DUP, thinking we were just freaks, hunting down other freaks.
I've done some pretty awful things. The kinds of things that haunt a man while he's sleeping. You see, most people think our powers are a gift. But if it was up to me, I'd hunt the devil down myself. Give him this gift back. My name is John Wraith, and I'm a mutant.
Personal log, Captain William Stryker.
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. A man was brought in today who could instantly teleport from one location to another. Imagine the military potential of this ability. And what if there are others with even greater powers? A strike force composed of mutants could accomplish missions that no human squad could even hope to attempt.
My mission is not to feel. My objective is not to think. I execute orders, and I eliminate targets without prejudice, one way or another. And now I kill my own kind, but not because I'm a traitor. That's because they're the only adversaries worthy of my skill. My name is Agent Zero, but I know which side I'm on. Do you?
places, meet new and exciting people, and then kill them. So I became a mercenary. My name is Wade Wilson. And I love what I do.
I don't regret the things I do. I'm proud of what I am. I'm proud of what I've done for my country. But if you think you can take me, you step up to Fred J. Douche, you better run. Because if I ever catch you up, I might teach you some manners.
I'm pushing forward with assembling my squad of mutants. High command is dubious, but they're willing to let me run with it for a few more months. Once they see the team in action, I'm sure I'll have their full confidence. Along that line, I just received word of two brothers who are mutants. Both have regenerative powers, and one of them has retractable bone claws. Unfortunately, they're hot-tempered. One of them killed a commanding officer. But there's potential here, so I'm going to see if they can be of use.
My whole life, I felt like an animal. I ignored my instincts. I ignored what I really am. And that won't ever happen again. I want new ones.
What do you want him to say?
Wolverine.
I'm not your friend. I'm an animal who dreamed he was a man. But the dream is over, and the beast is awake. And I will come for you, because it's my nature.
Our top scientific minds would have us believe that the appearance of Homo superior is little more than an aberration. But what if they're wrong? What if the number of mutants continues to increase? And what if they become even more powerful, to the point where they determine we're no longer necessary? The incident with the team in Africa has shown me that mutants are incapable of being trusted. We humans must take steps to protect ourselves.
Including surveillance. Authorized by Dr. Abraham Cornelius.
Adamantium. Are you certain such a metal even exists?
It's extremely rare, but yes, Dr. McLean's notes were quite clear.
Bonding that metal to bone must be painful.
Very much so. But more importantly, the process damages all the surrounding tissue.
Sounds like it would kill a normal man.
Indeed it would. But who says we need to use a normal man? Personal log. Dr. Abraham Cornelius. Today I propose that Logan, a former member of Team X, would make an excellent subject for the adamantium bonding process. His mental ability to withstand pain, combined with his mutant healing ability, gives him a more than 30% chance of surviving. Captain Stryker agreed, and will see to it that Logan is brought to the Weapon X facility. How can they expect me to complete my work when my hands are tied by so many rules and regulations? I'm on the verge of a revolutionary breakthrough, and they're worried about human rights. Well, the test subjects are not humans. They're mutants. Legally, they have no rights.
Mutants. I don't hate them. I just know what they can do. You realize this, but we are at war. I took an oath to protect this country. My name is William Stryker. I am not a monster. I'm simply a patriot.